Real quick, by show of hands, who here has seen the movie Wolf of Wall Street? Okay, like almost everyone, great. So, Jordan was the first person out of all of us that lived together to get contracted, and he went out there to the field and he got his first sale with FFL. When he came back to the house, all the rest of us roommates, we were all like waiting for him. We were like, oh, and just like hyped him up. And just to go from that moment, living with him and seeing the growth he's had over the last 2 years and 4 months, growing to a brand new senior board member, which means his agency in April did over $2 million of paid commissions, over 200 agents. The growth's been absolutely incredible, and I'm so proud of him. He's going to bring the fire. So, help me welcome to the stage, Jordan!
All right. Well, I'm excited. Like Alex said, guys, we're only going to be here for about, an hour and a half, 2 hours. So really, if you're in the back of the room or you're not taking notes, what I would challenge you to do is really dig in. Dig into one or two things that I'm going to teach you, one or two things Sean's going to give you, one or two things the next speakers are going to give you. And my topic is how to run a $2 million agency, which is exactly what it takes to run a $10,000 agency. To take a $10,000 agency to a $50,000 agency, or a $50,000 agency to a $100,000 agency, is the exact same thing I did to move us from $1 million to $2 million. You guys with me?
Yes.
Okay, it's super simple. Recruit. The only three things that will pay you. How are you? Great to see you. Thanks for being here, Brad. The only three things that pay you when you're working here are dialing the phone, setting appointments, write that down, sitting face to face, selling insurance. I remember walking into an appointment once. I was walking into a meeting with Sean, and I was like, hey, sorry I'm late. I was just, I was closing a deal. It was 96. He goes, stop. You never have to apologize for selling insurance. Okay? So dialing the phone, setting appointments, in the home, filling out a financial inventory sheet, getting uncomfortable. This is super uncomfortable for me because I technically never really wear a tie. I'm a polo guy, but they told me I'm supposed to wear this. So it's a little uncomfortable, it's a little hot, but I'm gonna do my best, okay? The second thing is sitting with people, filling out a financial inventory sheet and selling insurance. And then the third thing, the only other thing that makes you money, is taking someone from not knowing about Family First Life to knowing about Family First Life, okay? So if they're in the industry, or if they're not in the industry, will determine on how you need to expose them and how you need to find their why and why they should work with us. Does that make sense? Okay? You're not hiring people to hire them for you. You're hiring them to hire them for them. Okay? If you start hiring them for you because you want to build an agency, you're not going to do that well. Because it's out of selfish reasons. It's because you need the override or you need the money. But if you start digging into why people want to make more money, or why they want to build passive income, or why making $20,000 a month would change their life, that's when you really start to build an agency. You really start to build momentum and people, and it starts to be multiplication instead of addition. Okay? You guys with me? Okay. So I'm going to talk about how I break down selling the opportunity. So if you want to voice memo this or record it, I definitely would, because I pretty much copy Sean. When I'm hiring someone, I'm on the phone. I did this today. I was talking, so it's like ring, ring. I'm talking to them. I'm always going to figure out what they're doing now and while they're doing it. But I'll say, hey, our company was founded on three main things. Number one, it has to be great for the client. Number two, it has to be great for the agent. And number two, it can't destroy the company. It can't kill us. You can't be lying to clients and doing unethical things. Does that seem fair? Are you cool? Do you understand? So what I mean by that is, number one, when I say it's got to be great for the client, and you're going to hear me say some of the same things other people have said, write it down. Sometimes you'll hear it 100 times, and then it'll click. And then you'll say it, and then it'll make you $1,000 in an hour, and it'll change your business, okay? So when I say it needs to be great for the client, what I mean by that, Riyadh, is we're not, for example, sometimes at certain companies, if you only work for one company, and you're loyal to that company, you can only get that insurance product. So don't you think if you and I walked out of your house, Riyadh, and we looked down the street, and there was 15 houses, that there's 15 grandmas, there's 15 moms and dads. There's no way that you are just like the other 14. Would you agree? So wouldn't it make sense that you're going to get something based on what you need, not with what the insurance company gets? So what we do is we're loyal to our clients. We're not loyal to the insurance company. We work for you. You with me? Can you get behind that? Awesome. The second thing that we built the company on is number 2, is it has to be great for the agent. What I mean by the agent is the person who's doing the most work. When I say doing the most work, I mean dialing the phone 500, 900, 1,000 times on a Monday. Dialing the phone 350 times on a Friday when their first 5 appointments weren't there. The person who should get paid the most money is the person who's doing the most work, right? Not you should get 40 and someone else should get 80 or 90 or 100 when they did it 7 years ago or 10 years ago. And so Sean founded the company on the person doing the most work makes the most money. Can you get behind that? Perfect. And the third thing is it can't hurt the company. So you can't be lying to clients. You can't be, they told you they had COPD. You can't go, are you sure you had COPD? And write them a term product or write them a CBO, right? You have to be honest. You can't hurt the company. You can't hurt the client. So tell me, and let me preface that. That's how I'm starting every recruiting conversation. I'm getting yeses. I'm telling them about Family First Life. I'm telling them about the 3 processes and what's going to be great for them. But I'm finding their why. So I'm saying, I always start by saying I don't have a lot of time. Hey, I don't have a lot of time right now. I'm on my way to my next appointment. I don't have a lot of, if you want something to get done, you give it to a busy person. They'll get it done. It takes everything, if you're on the phone with someone for more than 7 minutes, hang up. There's no reason to be on the phone for more than, if you want to make a lot of money. Okay? So I start by saying, hey, I don't have a lot of time. I'm on my way to my next appointment. But I just want to learn a little bit about you. I want to learn what you've been doing, how long you've been in your current career, what you love about it, and just kind of learn. And then I listen. And people love to talk about themselves, so they'll tell you, what industry they're working in, if they're a server, or if they're, working at a software sales company, and be like, so tell me a little bit more about what that looks like from a schedule standpoint. Tell me what you love about it and your strengths, and what's missing. I say the same 3 things every time. It's like Sean said earlier, it's like the boring things, like at first it's boring, and then they just start paying you more and more and more and more and more, and then it's not so boring. But I say the same 3 things. So what's missing or what's holding you back? If they have kids, or they take care of their grandma, or they take care of their nephew or niece, and I'm finding their why. And I find out what they're not willing to do. So one thing I said earlier, MJ, if this went better than expected, if it went perfect for you for the first year, 12 months, not a crazy long time, but if it went better than you could imagine, what would 12 months of income look like to you? If it went just perfect, what would that look like? And I want to gauge them. Do they say 100 grand, or do they say 500 grand, or are they like, I think it was more, what Sean said, 37 million? Do they have no realm of idea of what sales numbers and what companies pay? I want to gauge their financial literacy. Are you guys with me? If someone says 70 grand, I'm like, so if I break down, is it okay if I break down the math for you? And then, so if you just ran 10 appointments, if you just set 10 appointments, which is probably what people who work 10 hours, 12 hours a week do, and you sit 5 and you only sell 2, you gross about 100, 120,000, you net about 50 or 60. You're telling me that's what wild success would be to you? Are you going to be full-time or part-time? So what I'm saying is, just like in selling, if you were to call me and tell me you didn't sell a client, and I said, well, who was going to be the beneficiary? And you said, I'm not sure. Wouldn't that make sense? You didn't sell them and you didn't protect them? It's the same thing with hiring. Are you with me? It's the same thing. If you don't know why they want to work with you or why they're here, then why should they work with you? So it's the old saying, people don't care what you know until they know that you care. Okay? I always use the same 2 or 3 tools. The 5-minute what is FFL with Sean Mike. I said, I don't have a lot of time right now, but if I would you. Okay, so after I've had this quick call, write this down. If I would you. So if I sent this over to you by 3 o'clock, is there any reason you wouldn't have it done by 3:30? I'll call you right after my next appointment. You can't have it done by 3:30, no problem. If I send it to you by 6, is there any reason you can't have it done by 7? So all I'm doing is if I give an action, will you give an action to me, right? If I would you. So after you found their why, you found out. And we can talk about, all the great things. Free training. Did anyone pay to get in here today? Okay, this wasn't free, but it was free to us. And my old company was $300, $400. news alert. I was with a company for 6 months before this. Every 3 months, you pay $300, $400, you have to fly somewhere, you spend another $1,000, and you get to have dinner and hang out, and jump on chairs. Who wants to jump on chairs? I wanted to make money. So one thing I can tell you is I've asked Sean a lot of questions since I've been here. I've been here 27 months. I asked him a lot of questions. I said, when I get to this, will you teach me this? When I get there, will you teach me that? When I get to this level, will you teach me that? And he's always done what he said he's going to do. It's not like he says these things and doesn't follow up. He's a true man of his word, but he wants people to win. It's not about the bottom line to him. I mean, yes, it is about the bottom line. We want to make money, but at the cost of doing what you say you're going to do, okay? So I would get really, really good at your social media, just like every other speaker, but I'm adamant about Nina and Hayden using Facebook Live, Instagram Live, all the free sources, okay? Write this down. You need to be posting every 2 hours. That's just simple marketing, okay? Every 2 hours. So if your story says 3 hours, you haven't posted, you're 60 minutes late. Okay? Gary Vaynerchuk says you want to be top of mind every 2 hours. So whether that's something positive, whether that's your new agent booked her first appointment, whether that's someone made their first sale. So grateful I got to protect Miss Mary. Spent $11, made $700. Or even more importantly, protected, use the beneficiary. So grateful I got to meet Miss Kathleen, so her daughter Becky doesn't have to come out of pocket. So grateful that I was able to make $700 in an hour. Who in your family or friends is interested? Not as much check flashing as it is about what we're providing. You guys with me? Okay? Thank you, Erica. So back to the resources. Sending the same few things over and over. What is FFL? FFL overview. Using YouTube. Sending them a training tool. Hey, I know that you'll be able to figure out, but would this help some of your new agents? Like, I'm always giving credit to them, saying, hey, I know you'll have no problem, I know you'll do well, but do you think this would help your new people? And then I'll send them a tool we have, or a call we have, let them spy on us a little bit. And just give them a taste of our culture, because most people are not as successful as the people in Family First Life. When I started here, I never made any big changes without first calling Ashley, then calling Grady, and then calling Andrew. Now, I call Grady pretty much every day. I'm like, hey, if I'm going to change this, would you do that? He's like, dude, why would you change anything? But my point is, if something's working, everything works a little bit, okay? Whether it's, so Andrew said, if they're not scheduled their test in 10 minutes, I wouldn't send someone the Exam FX or the Excel voucher unless they booked their test. It's like, hey, dude, this is a new career. If you're not willing to book your test, if you're not willing to book your state exam, it's just like real estate. Except it's not $2-3 grand. It's like $1,000. But if you're not willing to put $100 on the line to book your test, I don't know if I have time for you right now. I'm not saying that we can't be friends, but dude, it's $100. If you can't spend $100 on yourself, you have to look in the mirror. I want to leave you guys with this, 3x3x3, okay? This is principles you can literally do right now and make money tomorrow, okay? 3 coaches. These are 3, we don't use the word mentor here because that's weird. You shouldn't be paying coaches. These are coaches in your business for free. 3 coaches, okay? These are 3 people who you want to model your business after. So for me, it's Sean, because you have to look at, what's your name? Sherry. Nice to meet you, I'm Jordan. You have the exact same opportunity Sean Mike had 7 years ago, except the leads are already figured out. The carriers are already figured out. I told Sean, dude, we're gonna be faster than the company. I was like, you're in year 7, I'm in year 2.5. Like, in year 7, he's like, I don't doubt it. But he's already done all the hard work, so you have to look yourself in the mirror, okay? Back to that, 3x3. 3 coaches they have the business you want, okay? Second is 3 people you're running with. So for me, it was Eric Schmidt, Zach Twardowski, Eric Kamadi. These are people you're talking to twice a week. If it's more than 5 minutes, this is not a friends club. I'm sorry. There's other companies for that. Okay? These are people, hey, what did you guys do? How much did you submit? This is what I'm dealing with. This is what I'm struggling with. These are my challenges. Pick 3 people. Once on Thursday, once on Sunday. These are your running partners. They can be your friends, but you want to smash them. If you're competitive like me, I want to win. Okay? And then 3 people that you're bringing up. And that's the last thing of this is 3 people, if you've booked 15 appointments, you can teach someone to book 15 appointments, right? If you've sold 10K in a week, you can help someone do 10K. If you've only done 6, you can't help someone sell 10K. So you want to have 3 people, so you have 3 coaches, 3 running mates, and then 3 people that you're bringing up minimum. Minimum, okay? What if you're no good? Hire now, start now, do not wait. And if you need help, go to your nearest VP. Anyone in this company will help you. Everyone's on Sean Mike's team, everybody. If you reach out to him on Facebook, if you ask good questions, if you don't ask stupid questions, okay? The insurance, last thing, the insurance companies work for you. What I mean by that is if you call me and say, hey, does Americo do this? I say, dude, Americo works for you. Why didn't you call them? Aetna works for you. John Hancock works for you. So call them. Act like they work for you. Act like your staff works for you. Have them call them. I'll leave you guys with this. This is the largest transfer. This will be the largest transfer of wealth ever. Between the pandemic, between life insurance, family first life, everything. This next year, 2 years, 3 years, this is the chance with integrity. Do not get left behind. Get a starting 5, get a bench 5, and just keep working. Okay, guys? Have a great day.